Hi, Libra. Welcome to your reading. Thank you all so much for being here. Today, we're going to be doing message cards only. This is a general reading, so please take whatever resonates and let go whatever does not. And this is also a timeless reading, so when you find this reading, it is meant for you, okay? Let's go ahead and get into the overall energy. Libra, angel spirits and guides. What is the overall energy? Thank you for Libra. We have live your bliss. Yes. Be happy. Be happy for the good things in your life. And also don't take for granted the bliss that you are currently experiencing, that you will come to experience even more things to be happy for, to be blissful about. But live in the bliss, live in the good things into your life. Focus on that energy. Focus on all the good things that you're experiencing in your life and be so grateful for it all. Okay? I love that. Good start to the reading. Angel spirits and guides. What are the messages that we have for Libra? All right, let's see. Okay. So Libra, I feel like you're taking time for yourself. You're single. You're not in a rush to get in any type of connection. You're taking your time here because you're very much so enjoying yourself. Like life is good for you. In your singleness, in your solitude, you are becoming the best version of yourself. Okay? I feel like you're in a space where you want to pour into yourself. You don't want to sit here and date right now. You're just living in the bliss of being with yourself, connecting with yourself, loving yourself, learning yourself all over again. Because I feel like for you, Libra, you have some long-term relationships, more than one is what I'm getting. And therefore, you are pouring so much into those relationships. I feel like you may have lost sight of who you were. But now here you are, single and loving it. And I feel like for you, Libra, in the past, it was hard for you to be good with being single. But I feel like you've grown so much from these past relationships that you've had that you see the beauty in being to yourself, enjoying yourself, not rushing things, not wanting to cover up wounds with trying to pour into someone else. Now you're pouring into yourself, which is allowing you to heal the wounds that you've experienced in your life. Beautiful. This is where you are now feeling bliss with self, that to the point where when you do choose to date again and to connect with someone, they're just the icing on the cake. You're already the cake. You're already happy. You're already good with self. That whomever you allow into your space or energy is going to be the icing on the cake, the cherry on the top, is what I'm getting. Because now you've learned to love yourself and to be happy with yourself. So life is good for you right now. Angel spirits and guides, what are the messages that we have for Libra? I love this energy because I'm kind of in the space myself. So I love it. Yeah, that's what I was getting. You've healed your heart. You've done the work. You've healed your heart. You feel freedom from toxic relationships. Yes, I love this. I feel like your last couple of relationships were very toxic. So you're just feeling so happy to be to yourself because it was so much drama. You were so depressed. You were so sad. And you thought that being to yourself was going to just continue the sadness. But you've realized that spending time with yourself has brought the bliss into your life, right? And now you feel very lighthearted. You're finding yourself. You truly are finding out who you really are, and you're loving it. Okay, you're adapting and changing and you're healing. This is so beautiful. Like you are truly in your era of loving on yourself, and it feels so good because I felt there was so much burden in your relationships. You did not feel peace. You did not feel happiness. You felt stress at all times. Now the stress is alleviated from you. You're learning yourself. You're spending time with yourself. You're figuring out the things that you like to do, right? You're finding hobbies. You're making time for you. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're spending that time, happily single. This card talks about happily single, moving on. You're making more time with your friends. I feel like when you're in relationships, you didn't have time for your friends because you were pouring into your partner. They didn't even like you spending time with your friends. But here you are, healthy, happily, good with self to the point where you're doing what you want to do. You're living in the moment. You're having fun. You're spending time with your friends once again, something you couldn't do. You were very much controlled in your relationships, Libra. And now, you're so happy to be able to make decisions that you want to make for yourself. You may have felt controlled in these connections you were dealing with, right? Because you couldn't even spend time with your friends or family even. So now I see you spending time with your friends, your girls, your guys. Y'all are going out having a good time. No one's clocking what you're doing, accusing you of cheating. You may have been accused of that and you never were. So therefore you felt bad all the time because someone was accusing something that you didn't do. Like toxic energy that you've released, and now you're just so happy. You're in your bliss state. Angel spirits and guides, what are the messages that we have for Libra? I love this reading, by the way. It's awesome. Yeah, I feel like you're daydreaming about your future, the things that you want to aspire to achieve. You know, now that you can focus on self, you're thinking to yourself, what is it that I want now? What can I do next? You know, you're righting your wrongs, right? You're righting the wrongs that you feel like you made in the past by allowing toxic people into your space. Now you no longer allow that. So now you're righting those wrongs and thinking things through, you know, reflecting on what you feel like have been mistakes for you. And you're reflecting on that so you don't repeat that, you know. Again, I get this energy of you taking your time. You're not in any rush to be in any kind of relationship, not even to date. I feel like you're not even wanting to date, which is fine, right? Focus on self, focus on you, focus on what you enjoy doing, hobbies, leveling up with your work, getting in the gym, losing weight, eating more healthy, pour into you. You know, you're reflecting on the mistakes, but you're not dwelling in them. You're thinking about them. You're learning your lessons from them, and now you're pouring into yourself, which is very beautiful here. Okay. You know, now you're being truthful with yourself. You're being honest with yourself here. You know, this time to yourself was allowing you to truly reflect, understand what has happened in life with connections that weren't good for you, so that now that lesson has been learned. And now it's showing you and revealing to you that you didn't need those people. You don't need them now. You're fine to yourself. You're thriving on your own. And you feel that thriving. And that's why you feel so happy, because you're realizing things. You're coming to the realization that being single is where the bliss is at for you at this time. You don't need someone else to feel whole. No one can make you feel whole. You have to make yourself feel whole. And you're learning that now. You're realizing, whoa, I don't need anybody to feel this happiness, this bliss. I don't need anybody. I don't need to be in any relationship to feel good with self. Being with yourself is where that should emanate from, right? Angel spirits and guides, what are the messages that we have for Libra? I love this reading so much, Libra. Y'all got the best reading to me in this cycle of reads. I really think this is the best one, right? Because to really be good with self is such a high level of happiness. I'm on the journey to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm so on the journey for that. And I feel better every single day. So I know what this feels like. You know what I'm saying? It feels amazing. Energy activation, right? Connect with the divine through meditation and prayer. So yeah, you're definitely connecting with your higher self. You're getting more spiritually balanced. You're praying, you're meditating, you're connecting with your higher self. This is what's bringing in such bliss, because you're in tune with your higher self. You're activating positive and good energy, right? You're making the right decisions for yourself. You're finally making decisions that are best for you. I feel like for you, Libra, in the past, it was always about deciding what was best for the other, never what was best for you, which is what led you to be so sad, so unhappy, depressed, miserable, because you are making decisions to make someone else happy, never for yourself. Now here you are making decisions that, you know, pour into what will make you happy, what will make you tick, what will make you feel good, right? And now you're in the space of acceptance, accepting the past and the current situation. Like I said, you are definitely reflecting on the mistakes, things that happened in the past. And this is what's allowing you to work through those issues gracefully, right? You're working through those past traumas. You're healing from it. You're learning from it. You're realizing things about your past that has happened in connections, which is leading to acceptance, which is then leading to your happiness, right? It's a cycle. It's a path that you're on. That's a beautiful one, where it's leading you into true ultimate healing and true love for self, wanting to spend time with self, be to yourself, not focusing on the next person, but focusing on the right now, which is all about you. Okay? So I hope this message has resonated for you, Libra. If it did, hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I thank you all so much for being here. And until next time, be blessed.